does not exist. I'm joined by Bharat Karnad, Emeritus Professor, Center for Policy Research, and Lieutenant General Shaukin Chauhan, Defense and Strategy Expert. So let me straight away go to Mr. Karnad. Sir, do you think that the folder has been destroyed?
No, of course not. I think there is no expectation it would be, because as you're perhaps aware, the GBU 57, the massive uh, whatever ordnance penetrator, the depth it could go to destroy whatever was about 90 meters. The Fordau centrifuges are at 300 meters depth. So there's no question. I mean, this was made, this was published by many publications and so on. So Trump's boast was, his usual hyperbole and exaggeration that he's prone to, and shouldn't be taken seriously. Simply because I think it was more a political statement of success of some kind, not the success in decimating, as he put it, or destroying in toto the Iranian nuclear program, which, as everybody, and I think the DIA is right, is going to get back on track very soon, because there's another facility that's not been attacked, that's been again built underground and fairly immune to any kind of attack. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Iranian centrifuges getting underway, and this time on a more serious weapons note. Uh, Despite whatever Mossad penetration there is, that is really weakening the Iranian system.
So do you think that this will change the Iranian nuclear posture?
Well, look, I think they cannot. I mean, this is the perils of a threshold state. You're at a threshold where you haven't crossed into actual weapons possession, but you're nearly there, and which is the case with the Iranian weapons program. They tarried too long. They were with the kind of agreement they signed with President Obama. They sort of stayed away from actually crossing the threshold. Now that they find, and once Trump came in and discarded the agreement, abrogated it, uh, they had very little time to switch to a weapons mode. And this is where you kind of become very vulnerable for a threshold state, wherein you cannot go do very much in terms of achieving the weapons that you need to get a deterrent, and yet you are left vulnerable. So I think the Iranians were expecting the attack, and that's why, as you have said, they moved their enriched uranium stock to a safe place. And again, this was known. So, in one sense, this was a fairly staged show for both sides to claim some modicum of success. Because, as you're aware, after the attack, the Iranians staged a kind of attack in Qatar, and and the Iranians gave the Qataris a warning that we are going to strike you. So the whole thing is a bit of a stage show. Basically, in a sense, that the Iranians keep their uranium stocks, the enriched uranium stocks. They are still where they were in terms of capability. Of course, again, the decapitation attacks that happened with the Israeli Mossad taking out their leading scientists and so on, and this has been ongoing for the last 30 odd years, that has always put them back a bit. But there's enough of I mean, they're very bright people, Iranians, and they have their technical expertise down, where they can, in fact, convert what they have in terms of enriched uranium into a weapon, some kind of a weapon that will explode when it's required.
Okay, General Chauhan, do you think that the American story has gone awry? And my second connected question to you is: have Americans done Iraq on Iran the way they went after Saddam Hussein, the so-called WFD program in 2003, sir?
Good evening. How we, good evening. Actually, I was just reading about Tulsi Gabbard, and I was reading what she said, and she said that there is no credible evidence that Iran is anywhere near a nuclear weapon. This she echoed of the U.S. intelligence community, who said that they are not near that. Trump had ignored that particular thing. because Israel told him to sort of told him and leaked certain documents which people anyway see are false. So I'm not too certain where Iran is on this situation, and I've got no doubt, Karthik, that they were doing what they did for Iraq. They were trying to find WMD here. They're trying to find nuclear weapons. I don't think Iran's that close by. Maximum that they would have enriched would be 60%. It still takes a very long time to reach there. And there has been a fair amount of destruction in most of their nuclear sites. As Bharat said, the, 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 the reactors are much lower, 90 meters below, and it will take much more bombing to actually reach that point, which will be very difficult. But the end point is that Iran will take a great amount of time to come to any kind of weapons grade, nuclear weapons grade equipment, and I don't think they're close by at the present moment.
Ever, General Chauhan, because it's a homegrown program. It's not like you can do an OSIRAC again and again.
Exactly. So when it's a homegrown program, you also have to see what are their capabilities. We've continuously, the Americans have been looking at this capability of the Iranians, and they have come to conclusion that they were far away. But what Trump relied on was the Israeli intelligence leaks of Netanyahu's 2018 Iran nuclear archives. There is also a great deal of political and ideological motivation here. Trump wanted to undo Obama's legacy and show strength in the Northeast, in the Middle East. Now, Iran has resumed enrichment. They have reached to 2020 to 60% in 2021. The breakout time had dropped from 12 months to probably just weeks.